Hey everybody, welcome to our eBay training tonight. We're just doing some basic training for you guys that are a little newer to this whole retail dropshipping thing. I want to do a little more practice listing, maybe some practice using eBay's Seller Hub, and teach you guys a little bit better how to do retail dropshipping listings. And without further ado, let's just get right in and start. So I'm going to go to eBay.com, and this is where I am right now. And before I even start, I usually like to bring up another tab for my suppliers. So you can kind of see up here at the top of my screen. I use Google Chrome, so I like to use the little tab function right here. I'm circling it in red. If I click that little tab function, I can open up a new tab in case that's something you weren't aware of. And if I do that, I can go to a place like, Amazon.com, right? Maybe that'll be my supplier for tonight's session, and maybe we'll do another one. I can open up a second tab or a third tab here, and we could put in Walmart.com if we want. So it's nice to have your suppliers up and ready before you start your listing. So I'm going to head back over here to eBay, and I'm going to come up here to the top right and hit this sell button, and I'm just going to circle that. Could be a little different on your screen, but I'm going to click on it anyway right here. Let's hit sell. And it's going to just have me verify my account. So I'm going to log in here. Okay. So if I'm doing the Seller Hub, which I am right now, and I'm in the Seller Hub because it says Seller Hub right here. If I'm listing an item using the Seller Hub, I come in here and I usually put my mouse over listings, and then I come right down here to the blue button, Create Listing, and I'm going to create a single listing. It gives me this little option under Create Listing to select Single Listing, and that's just exactly what I'm going to do. But before we can even start on that, we have to choose something to sell, right? So maybe we'll sell, well, what should we sell, guys? Last time we did an oil diffuser. So maybe we'll do some essential oil to go along with it, okay? I'm going to grab this first one I see here on Amazon. And, I'd encourage you guys, if you're new to the retail dropshipping strategy, to not be so picky. All of you guys are so picky when you first start. You don't want to sell something that you don't like, or you don't want to sell something that's more expensive than maybe other people already on eBay. And so maybe you get looking at this rosemary essential oil right here, which I'm going to click on, and you get thinking, what's it worth on eBay? And I wonder if it's cheaper on eBay because it's on sale here for $10.50 on Amazon for this little 1 ounce bottle. So then you guys come up here to eBay and you start looking at other listings. I know you guys do this. Don't lie to me, because I know a lot of you guys do this before you put up a listing. So you put in rosemary essential oil 1 ounce or something. And you try to find that 1 ounce bottle that's comparable, and then you flip out when you see that you can find it cheaper, right? Here's one right here. It's for $4.29. Although if I click on this, there's shipping on it, so that's actually here's the shipping price right here, if you can see it. So you've got $4.29, so that's $6.29. It's about $7. Okay. And you're thinking, well, why is somebody going to buy the item we're going to list, right? Because we're going to list this essential oil right here. It's at $10. We probably have to mark that up to, $16, $17.99 just to make any money on it. But guys, first of all, can you stop doing that right off the bat? Because I promise you will research your way out of every listing you could possibly put up. You will find cheaper ones on eBay. And you will wonder yourself, why is somebody going to buy this rosemary oil from me when they could buy it from maybe this person here? Or they could scroll down and find it from somewhere else. Here's another one right here for $7.10, free shipping. Here's one that's a little more expensive, $10.95, but still there's free shipping, so that's going to be cheaper than ours. Here's one now. It's it's called Now Essential Oils. That's for $7 and free shipping. Do you know what I mean? Like, I promise you we could scroll through here and find plenty of items that are cheaper than the one we're going to list. But here remains the question to all of you guys. Why is it that somebody's going to pay potentially this higher price for our item that we're going to put on eBay? Well, first of all, there's no guarantee anybody will pay more for it. We may not sell this item. And you have to be okay with that, because just because you list an item and it doesn't sell does not mean you're doing something wrong. I have told you guys 100 times, and I'm going to say it again right now. If you list 100 items off the hip, off the cuff, like we're doing right now, without a lot of research, chances are you're only going to sell 4, 5, 6% of those, which means out of 100 items of your first few that you put up, you may only sell 5 or 6 of those. Maybe less, maybe more. And you may say to yourself, well, that was a waste of time. I spent all that time to make 4 or 5 sales. But it is not a waste of time, because if you discover good sellers, those 4 or 5 may be items you sell over and over all year long, right? Maybe the other 95 or 96, 93 items that don't sell, maybe we scrap those. But if we keep our good sellers, and then we rinse and repeat, and we do that strategy all over again, and list another 100 and keep the good sellers and get rid of the bad, you will slowly create a store full of really good sellers. That's the process. So please, don't research your way out of stuff. Don't talk yourself out of not listing this essential oil. Yes, you're going to be expensive. And guess what? In the drop shipping world, we make a living off of selling stuff that's a bit more expensive, especially if you're going to sell from retailers. But that does not mean that it's not going to work. And I can tell you, and you know, if this is you people research and think yourself out of every product to the point where you don't think this works without even trying it. So I'm going to get off of my high horse here and get into the listing, but I wanted to cover that principle first. Don't knock it until you try it, and especially don't knock it if you don't try it the right way, because you need to do this strategy the right way, or else it won't work. It is a mass volume, high volume listing type strategy. You got to do a lot of stuff to make money on it. Okay, so now that's off my chest. Let's get into the listing itself. Okay, we're going to do this very quickly, okay, so I can show you how quickly you can put this stuff up. I'm going to copy the title from Amazon, and I'm going to paste it right here, and I'm going to hit Get Started. Okay, here's my listing title here, although this is actually a full 80 characters. You'll notice one thing about titles when I do listings is I like to make sure they're 80 characters. So Majestic Pure Rosemary Essential Oil, highest quality. Notice I'm getting rid of the commas. Commas just take up space. I know they break it up, but they're not needed. Therapeutic grade, 1 fluid ounce. This is a pretty good title. We could manipulate this a little bit, but that's not a bad title. We'll keep that. Subtitle, we don't want it. That's an additional upgrade. Okay. I've seen a few clients do this. It's not worth 50 cents. We don't need a custom label. We do, however, need a category right here. Okay. So let's do a category together. Very easy. Choose a category. Don't think too hard about it. This fits into the aromatherapy. It also fits into essential oils. I think we're going to go ahead and do essential oils. It asks you if you want to add a second category. You do not, because it costs money to do that, so it's not that important. You don't need a UPC, and in most cases, I don't go hunting for them. Stands for a Universal Product Code. How many of you guys who are here live with me actually do UPCs? Some of you might. I usually will come over here and just hit Does Not Apply. I don't think the UPC actually helps me all that much when I'm doing retail drop shipping. I would just hit Does Not Apply. It's a new condition. Now I need a photo, and this is where most of you guys are going to get stuck on this. Remember, the rule on photos is it needs to be at least 500 pixels on its biggest side. So what I'm going to do is, instead of downloading it from Amazon here, I'm going to quickly come out here to google.com/images like this. It's my very first thing I do. I copy the title from Amazon, and I go to google.com/images, and I paste it in the search bar right here. Let's see if I can just find it in Google Images first and find a big enough size. I may not be able to, but we're going to hunt for it. Okay, so what does it look like here? It looks like this right here. Okay, that photo looks like the one that's being used on Amazon. As I roll my mouse over it here at the top left, it says it's 321 by 500. It also right here says 321 by 500. I know that's kind of hard to see, but I'm going to underline it in red. You guys should see that. That means this length right here is 321. This length coming down is 500. What's the rule, guys? As long as one of the sides is 500 or more, it's going to work, right? So I can use this. Absolutely, it is usable. So I'm going to right-click on top of this, and I'm going to save this image to my computer. I don't care about the file name. I could change it if I want. I could call this rosemary-oil. Save it to my downloads. Boom. I hit save, and I'm good. All right. So we got our picture, don't we? Let's go back to our listing, and let's click on Add Photos, and let's bring it on in. And there it is. I just double-clicked, and it went right in there. Easy as that. So we're done with the photo. You know, it does want a brand here, so there's this section here called Item Specifics. Some of you guys ask me about item specifics and wonder, is it really all that worth it? Should I use item specifics? Well, you kind of have to if you see any asterisks, and brand has an asterisk, so I have to put something in there. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to select a brand if I can. The brand on this item is what? It's Majestic Pure, it's called. Let's hit the drop down, see if I can find it. No, nothing here, so I'm going to enter my own and call it Majestic Pure, okay? Doesn't have a model. I don't need to put in the country or region. I don't need an MPN, which is a manufacturer's part number. That's all additional and extra, and the only thing that actually had a red asterisk was the brand, so I had to put something there. You know, Jeff, that's a good question. If I went to Google image search and I couldn't find the image, I might change my keyword search a little bit, because what I did initially in the product search is I copied the title exactly from Amazon. I might change this a little bit and just do like, you know, Majestic Pure Rosemary Oil, and did a search like that, and just refined it a little bit and looked. And then if I still couldn't find it there, I would actually go here to Amazon, and I would have saved it from here, because I can right click on top of this, save image as, and save it from Amazon. And if it wasn't big enough in Amazon, I could increase the size of it in a program like Pixlr. I'm not going to show you how to do that right now. But I'm telling you, in most cases, I'd say 90% of cases, you can find the product in a good large size in Google Images and not have a problem at all. So I would really recommend you do that. Yeah, sure, you can use the stock photo. Could it be copyrighted, or could it get pulled down for copyright? Oh, it could. It doesn't happen often, but sometimes it happens. If it does, you just make a note that if this item got pulled down eventually for copyright, I would just make a note that I cannot list Majestic Pure items. eBay's not going to have a hard time with that as long as I don't keep listing the same thing. And you could, Corinne, you can just grab the picture here from Amazon. Sometimes the images aren't big enough from Amazon, Corinne, and that's why we just went hunting for it in Google Images really quickly. Often they are big enough, but sometimes they're not. That's right, Howard. eBay's cool with you know, breaking copyright on occasion. truth be known, they probably don't even care because they like you making money however you can. But if you continue to break copyright on the same item, that would be a problem. But don't let that bother you. That's a discussion for another day. Bottom line is take the stock photo and use it. Put it up on your eBay listing. You should be okay. All right, so let's scroll down to the item description. This is real easy. Just got to find the description here on Amazon, don't we? Let's highlight this from Amazon, copy it. Let's paste it right here. Although, notice what happened when I pasted this. It pulled over some formatting. It pulled over a link from Amazon. The formatting is a little funny because it's just running down, this left column of the description. I don't like that. So I'm going to erase this out. Actually, let me delete all this out. I delete it out by going to the HTML box, and now it's gone. And now I'm going to paste it in the HTML, and that way when I click over to standard, it doesn't have all that odd formatting. It's just easier that way. I don't like carrying formatting over from my suppliers. And you might say, well, it just looks like kind of a bad giant paragraph. Who's going to read that? Well, if I wanted to break it up, I could, right? I could create some little paragraphs, right? Just like that. That was easy. So I don't know. Do I want you to get bogged down with item description, look and feel? I had a client years ago, like they got really obsessive about this item description. Like the formatting was going to make all the difference. And if they didn't have the right formatting and it didn't look overly professional, that you weren't going to be closing sales. And that's absolutely not true. Copy the description, make sure it doesn't look unprofessional, and paste it in there, and you're usually good. Let's not overcomplicate this. And this is what a lot of you guys do who are a little bit newer at this strategy tend to do. Format, we want to go fixed price. We're not going to do auctions. Duration, 30 days is good to start. We need to put a price on this thing. It is a Prime item, so if I've got Amazon Prime, I'm getting free shipping on it. If I don't, the shipping is going to be $5. So we'll just pretend for a second that I do have Amazon Prime. So shipping is free. So this is really going to cost me $10.50. And I usually will take that number, whatever the price is, and just multiply it by 1.4. Give it a 40% markup, and I could sell this thing for, $15, $16. I'm not going to make much on it, and I'm not expecting to make much on this item. We'll sell it for $15.99. Right? I'm not expecting to. I mean, think about it. This is a tiny item. It's not expensive. I can't expect to have huge profits off of this thing. So you might say, well, why are you choosing to list this item when you could go out and list something that's hundreds of dollars and make a lot more? Well, that's a fair argument, right? And eventually, I think I'm going to ask that many of you who are doing lots of listings start doing more expensive items, because guess what? It takes you the same amount of time to list a little bottle of essential oils as it does to list a piece of patio furniture, right? You can sell that piece of patio furniture for $700. This I can sell for $15, right? I might make $3 or $4 on this. The piece of patio furniture I could make $150 on, and it takes me no more time to put that up. Now, sure, might be a little harder to sell a higher priced item, and if your account is brand new on eBay, it's a little tougher to sell higher priced items. So I think there is some value to selling cheaper items, getting sales, and building the credibility of your account. But if you're a more established account, then yeah, for sure, you ought to be listing more expensive stuff. No doubt about it. Yeah, 7-day listings are better. They get more exposure. So if you're wondering what's going to get you more exposure, 7-day listings are. But think about it. A lot of you guys are concerned about eBay fees. A 7-day listing has to be listed 4 times over the course of a month to equal 30 days. Whereas a 30-day listing, so this is your 7-day, a 30-day is listed how many times over the course of a month? Once, right? Well, if you've got all of your listings and you have to list all of them 4 times over the course of a month, you're going to eat up your free listings and have to start paying 30-cent insertion fees faster, right? I guess that should be insertion like this. You're going to have to start paying those faster, whereas with this strategy, 30 days, your insertion fees don't happen as quickly. So if you're newer, I actually think 30-day listings is better. But to answer your question, yes, your visibility is going to be better on 7-day ones. We'll go to 30. Okay. Anyway, buy now price $15.99. Do we want best offer? Right now, I'm going to say no, but best offer is not a bad option. You can select that and allow people to send you offers that might be lower. Quantity should stay at 1. We're not selling as a lot. We're not allowing buyers to remain anonymous. We're not making a donation in this case because guess what? I'm all about charities, but when you're drop shipping and your margins are thin, you don't have a lot of room for donations. Donate from your profit later. That's the advice I'm going to give you. PayPal, you're going to put in your PayPal account right here. You're also going to require immediate payment with Buy It Now. I would select that option. I would scroll down here, make sure returns are accepted. 30 days is best, so 30-day money back, buyer pay return shipping. Sales tax, you do have to charge sales tax, and this is not a discussion for right now, but maybe on another day, you do have to charge sales tax if you sell to someone who lives in your state. 1 state out of the 50. The other 49 states, you're not charging any sales tax to those states. You can set that up there with a sales tax table. That's beyond the scope of our discussion today, but that's where you would do it. Don't charge a restocking fee. Shipping right here, you want to do a flat rate, same cost to all buyers. You want to select either economy shipping or standard shipping. I'm going to select standard in this case and just do free. We like to build our shipping price or our shipping cost into the price of our product. Handling time, always 3 days. No international shipping. I get asked this all the time. Do you have to put in the dimensions here for your package? You do not, so you can skip that section because after all, if this is a drop shipping item, you won't know the dimensions, right? And then you can come down and hit list your item, okay? I went through that last part pretty quick. I think we'll do some more basic listing training next week so we can do more of these and I can go more quickly. But anyway, I thought I'd show you this one just to, again, to kind of refresh your mind on some of this stuff and get you thinking about getting listings up. It is not difficult to get listings up. Yet I find so many of my clients get stuck on some of these little hang-ups, whether it be they can't decide what to sell or they're overanalyzing and they're talking themselves out of everything that they want to list. Or they get in here and they get stuck on making good titles. You know, they can't put together a good 80-character title like I just circled there. Or it's the pictures that cause issues. You know, there's always one thing or another, but the bottom line is all of this stuff is pretty darn simple if you follow the steps we teach. And so I'd like to do some more training on this next week. We're out of time now, but we'll do some more basic training. Maybe I'll list another Amazon item or a Target or a Walmart or something else. You know, let's just get some practice together doing listings, and I can promise you we can overcome some of these little challenges that you're having as a new seller. Okay. Sure appreciate you guys being here, and for some of you covering some material that you probably already know, and for some of you who are newer, I hopefully this was instructive to you. Have a wonderful week, everybody, and we'll see you guys all next time. We'll be doing some eBay hopefully next week. Although I gotta say, I think next week is Valentine's Day. We may be canceling our eBay session next week, and we canceled it last week because I had been sick with this awful sinus infection. I'm better now, so we'll be having live webinars the rest of this week. But next week, there's a good chance that we'll cancel the Tuesday one. I'll keep you guys up to date on that. Okay. Appreciate it, guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I'll see you next time.